Hello, I'm an Australian, and this is another Doctor Who news video. I work for a living, and my videos are fully edited and scripted monstrosities. So rather than doing a small video for every little tiny bit of news that comes out, I'm just going to do a quick roundup so you can get all of your Doctor Who 60th anniversary knowledge into your noggin, and then get on with your day. In the last news video, Donna came back, and with a daughter no less, played by trans actress Yasmin Finney. And the 10th Doctor is revealed to be the 14th Doctor, kind of, sort of, we don't really know yet. And he's got a new look, but the same old hair that we all know and love. And Eunice is there, and they're fighting aliens. And all sorts of stuff is happening. Wilf is there! Wilfred Mott in a wheelchair! Oh, I love Wilfred. Oh, the things I would let that man do to me.
Don't say that like it's shameful.
A lot has happened since then, so let's get into it. So where do I even begin with all this? Over the last few weeks, we have been treated to such an overwhelming torrent of information. It's really hard to keep up with. They've been filming in Axminster and Bristol. There's been a new reveal every day, sometimes multiple reveals a day. And we have Insecti boys running around the place. These seem to be the new monsters that are invading, that Eunice is fighting against. We have this little fluff ball, and Who fans caught it all on their various mobile devices, generating free hype and marketing for the show. So why the hell is the security telling off people filming? So far we don't really know if it's going to be one big special or 2 to 3 smaller episodes, but there is evidence that some of it is meant to take place around Christmas time, leading many to theorise that we might actually be getting a Christmas special this year. And they could probably do it in that time frame, but it would definitely be a rush job. TV making is a very long and tedious process, and like I said, they could probably do it, and I am hopeful that we will get a Christmas special this year, a mere month after the Centenary special. You know, that other thing, Doctor Who related, that people don't seem that excited about for some reason. But that's okay, we have these images and filmed bits of these Insecti boys. They're sort of insectoid monsters, which look fantastic by the way. We've seen them walking down the street, we've seen them blowing shit up, we've seen one of them with his pants down. Could this be a new, unique alien threat? No, not really, no. It took a while for the penny to drop, but drop it indeed did, when somebody caught a pic of this thing. This little fluffy bunny thing looks a lot like Beep the Meep, and these guys look like Wraith Warriors, making others, and myself, very convinced that RTD is recreating the famous comic strip, Star Beast. The Wraith Warriors only show up in context with Beep the Meep. I go into more detail in this video that's been slammed by the algorithm harder than Beep the Meep slams your mum. But to summarise, Beep is a cute, adorable little meep who also happens to be an intergalactic criminal wanted for the subjugation of worlds and many, many war crimes. And it seems like Donna's daughter has been taken in by its cuteness, which Beep will inevitably use to his own ends of taking over the world. In other news, Neil Patrick Harris, the man, the myth, the legendary, the multi-talented singer, dancer, actor of stage and film, and lover of puppets, has joined the Cardiff team. This was announced in the usual cryptic way, a string of emojis followed by an announcement on Twitter, claiming that he is playing the Doctor's most powerful foe, and an image of him in costume. When I first saw this, I thought he looked very Doctorish. I was thinking a new Time Lord villain or something. Maybe coming after the Doctor on an eternal revenge quest? By not accepting the presidency the 2 times it was offered, he could have steered Gallifrey in a direction that wouldn't have led to the war altogether. And yes, he was a war hero, he did save Gallifrey in the end, but then immediately after it re-entered the universe and had been ravaged by centuries of temporal war, he toppled the only government standing, causing absolute chaos, and then left them to rot, leaving them vulnerable to takeover and ultimate destruction at the hands of the Master. A villain that the Doctor could destroy very easily, but just lets run around doing their own thing, so long as they're not harming anyone he cares about. Then, after the filming in Bristol, we got more information in the form of this toy shop, and this sign which reads, Toymaker of the Year. The Toymaker, he's obviously playing the Toymaker, the Celestial Toymaker. But who is the Celestial Toymaker? Oh no, it's history time, oh no, here we go again! The Celestial Toymaker is a villain from the first era of Doctor Who. Back in the good old days of the classic show, when black and white hid most of the cheapness of the sets, a godlike entity, beset by the crushing boredom of eternity, he enjoys the simple things in life, like forcing people to play games for their lives for the sake of his own amusement. He first appeared in the appropriately titled serial The Celestial Toymaker. This episode was unfortunately also a victim of the BBC's file-based storage system, with a lot of the serial being lost to time. He hasn't really showed up again since. They attempted to bring him back in the 80s in a 6th Doctor story called The Nightmare Fair, in the original Series 23. But unfortunately, the show was cancelled, then it was put on hiatus, then the BBC changed the runtime on them, and the episode had to be scrapped, along with most of the original Series 23. But that's a story I've already told. Another reason why he probably hasn't been brought back until now is the character is considered to be just a little bit racist. Not only because of what he's wearing, the sneaky and untrustworthy Asian was and still is a very negative stereotype for Asian people. And Celestial used to be somewhat of a slur back in the Victorian times. But does this make the character racist? I don't know. I'm not just white, I am very white. My ancestry is mostly from Dublin and the Greater London area. I couldn't be more white if I was also part Scandinavian. And I am! Look, if you are a Doctor Who fan of Asian descent and you think this is racist, then I'm going to take your word for it. You'd probably know far better than I would. Besides, if this is the Toymaker, and I'm not saying that it is, it looks like it's going to be, it might be, I think, it looks like they're staying as far away from the Mandarin look as possible, instead adopting the garb of a British Toymaker. And, whatever this is. This entire character is just Neil Patrick Harris all over. It just looks like he's having a ball, and flexing every creative muscle that he has at his disposal. It's what I've always loved about Neil Patrick Harris. You get a lot of variety in his performance. At one moment he's acting dramatic, the next he's doing a musical number, then he's back to being serious again. It's looking like the Toymaker may be the main villain for the 60th. And if that's the case, I'm really getting excited. When I say godlike, I meant godlike. The Time Lords once observed this guy playing in a supernova, as if he were playing in one of those shell-shaped paddling pools from Kmart. He's not subject to the rules of this universe. The Time Lords couldn't control him or contain him, so they just slapped a big Too Hard sticker on him and pretended they didn't exist. Because this guy isn't subject to the rules of our universe and can subvert them at a whim. Now, there have been a few more things that have come out since I started writing this about a day ago. There have been whisperings that this may not be a multi-doctor special after all. RTD is limited to the amount of doctors that he could use. The 9th Doctor was never on the table, the 13th Doctor just had a baby, Capaldi is already starting another project, so he's out. Matt Smith seems very keen, and he's also sporting the same haircut they did back when he was playing the Doctor, so that could be evidence of him preparing for the role. But yeah, who knows. There's also rumours that a classic companion might also be returning, which would make a lot of sense. These rumours are all spawned from this clip.
Oh yeah,
She could be talking about another character called Mel. It's not exactly an uncommon name, but a lot of people think that she's referring to the 6th and 7th Doctor companion Melanie Bush, first appearing in the Trial of the Time Lord arc. For those of you who are uninitiated, Melanie Bush is a bit of a canonical enigma. She first appears in the serial Attack of the Plant Vagina Heads, which takes place in the Doctor's future from the perspective of the Doctor who is currently on trial. She is presented as a future companion of the 6th Doctor who he hasn't met yet. And right after that business with the Plant Vagina Heads, the Master picks her up and brings her to the trial to serve as a witness. And in the end, she goes off with the Doctor who was just put on trial, who hasn't met her yet. The next time we see her is when the 6th Doctor regenerates into the 7th Doctor. But we never see how she met the Doctor from her perspective, and we are led to believe that 6 just went off with a companion who he has not met yet and is meant to meet at a later date, and paradoxes be damned. We eventually do get to see how she meets the Doctor from her perspective thanks to Big Finish. It's a multi-Doctor story involving 2 6th Doctors, 2 Mels, and nobody meets each other in the right order. It also has dinosaurs and space corporatocracy. Anyway, she's one of my favourite companions from my favourite Doctor, so it would be nice to see her come back to the show. Bonnie Langford has been doing audios for Big Finish on and off for the last 20 years, and in that time her character has received some much needed development. So if Mel could be bothered to drag herself from her intergalactic version of the Shark Tank, it would be nice to see her return. She didn't exactly get the best go in the classic series, so it would be nice to see her return as a fully formed character for once. So now it is time for me to do some predictions that are almost certainly going to be wrong. The universe was ravaged by the flux and time is falling apart, and the immortals are dancing through the death throes of the universe. The celestial Toymaker, seeing the chance for one last glorious game before the end, has interfered with the Doctor's regeneration, forcing Jodie to regenerate into an incarnation he finds more fun. He's brought back a bunch of villains for the Doctor to face, along with companions from previous eras, and he's set up these scenarios for the Doctor to play through, where the Doctor gets to be the dashing hero and saves the day, but it's all part of some sort of elaborate game in which he is the final boss. He watches in amusement as the Doctor puts things together, and the pressure is on for the Doctor to find a way to escape the Toymaker's insidious games, escape the web of lies, and find a way to fix the universe. But that's just me. What do you think? Leave something in the comments. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell. That's actually very important. A lot of people aren't hitting the bell. You should be hitting the bell. Hit the bell. Like and subscribe. And do all of those things, and I'll see you in the next one.